Hey guys, welcome back. We've got some stuff from DSR Farms today, and we're going to make some southern fried chicken nuggets and some homemade potato chips. So DSR Farms now has ground chicken and ground turkey. I've got about a pound of ground chicken here, and I'm just going to lightly season this with some pepper, chili powder, some seasoning salt, and some garlic powder. Used about a half a teaspoon of each because we can't taste this and I don't want to get it over salty, so we're going to rely on this batter for most of our seasoning. I also mixed 1 egg in after I got everything combined. Now for our batter, this is going to be very much just to taste, but I've got about a cup of flour, and then to that I add some seasoning salt, some garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, and some jalapeno powder. This is going to be very customizable. If you don't like it that hot, don't throw in any jalapeno powder. Maybe hold back on the chili powder. If you like it hotter, by all means throw stuff in there. It's very make it your own here. I like to start off pretty light. It really doesn't matter though. If you get it too much of something, you can always just add flour and cut that back. But anyway, don't forget to taste this, when you think you've got it right, because this is ultimately what your chicken's going to taste like when you get it fried. And now when you get everything like you like it, I split mine into 2 containers. You don't have to do that. I'll tell you more about that in a minute. So I noticed that this meat was still pretty wet and I was worried that it was not going to hold together, so I added some breadcrumbs, and by breadcrumbs I mean I ran a hot dog bun through a food processor and dumped them in. Now I made an egg wash here. It's completely unnecessary. Again, I'll tell you more about that later, but I did want to show off this one-hand egg crack flex. Okay, so I'm just making, roughly nugget size shapes and running them through dry flour and then the egg wash and then more dry flour to stick to the egg wash. But I eventually ran out of egg wash and made one giant chicken nugget. Spoiler, it's coming up. And I just ran it through the flour and the batter was virtually identical. This step is completely unnecessary. Just don't do it. Alright, when you get your oil up to temperature, and what I like to do is just take a little bit of flour and kind of sprinkle in there, and if it starts bubbling, it's hot, and you can start dropping in these nuggets and letting them go. These cook probably about 7 minutes or so, just till they're golden brown, and it's going to depend on what size and shape you make too. I guess if they're really thick, they're going to have to cook longer. If you make them like paper thin, they'll cook really fast. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make potato chips without a mandolin, because I don't have a mandolin, so I just assumed that a lot of people don't have mandolins. So I've got a potato peeler, vegetable peeler here, and what I do is I get one flat side, holding it in my hand, and then that'll let it sit on the cutting board pretty flat, and then I just go pretty slowly, but try and make nice, even, smooth cuts all the way down it, and you don't have to worry about cutting your finger off with a mandolin, because that's like the thing. When you get a mandolin, they're really sharp, you're gonna cut your finger, and you're like, no, I won't. Ow, I cut my finger. You know how it is. I'm actually making salt and vinegar potato chips here. You could do this with dill pickle juice also, but I'm just putting in half white vinegar, half water. If you were using pickle juice, it's already diluted, so you would need a pretty good bit of pickle juice. But anyway, I'm going to throw these in and boil them for about 5 minutes. And this center section here of the potato that's too small for me to hold on to and slice into potato chips, I'm just cutting these into French fries. While the water and vinegar comes up to boil, I'm just going to throw together a really quick sauce, and it's pretty amazing. I kind of accidentally invented it, but I'm glad I did. It's 3 parts mayonnaise, 1 part whatever your favorite barbecue rub is, if you make it or whatever, and then 1 part Dale sauce or this Johnny Fleeman. It's like knockoff Dale sauce. If you cannot find this, soy sauce will work. It's not going to be as good, but it's probably still going to be amazing. And then I put in probably a half part hot sauce, but I like things hot. So, you know, again, it's customizable. This stuff is amazing on chicken. It's also really good on beef and deer. I've put it on like burritos and stuff, and it's killer. Okay, so cook these potatoes for 5 minutes or so. That'll let all that vinegar flavor get into them, and it's also going to help them fry like super fast because they're basically already cooked. And then just strain them and make sure they're really dry. You don't want to throw water in hot oil. Don't know if you've ever done that before. It's terrible. I got a little greedy here and dumped in a few too many potatoes on this first batch, and it took probably 3 minutes to cook all these. If you'll do about half this much, they'll cook up in about 1 minute. And once they're nice and crispy, I just put them on a cooling rack and immediately hit them with some seasoning salt. And it's just because that hot oil is really going to make that salt stick to the chip. Here's that one really big chicken nugget that I cooked. I told you the batter is virtually identical, and it was like as big as the pot that I boiled the potato chips in. These nuggets came out amazing, super juicy, really flavorful because, you know, we've got flavoring in the meat and the batter. It's not just like the garbage that one place that has like golden colored M's everywhere serves. I mean, these actually taste like food. They are top notch. And these chips, guys, they're super awesome. I mean, just the right amount of vinegar, very nice and crunchy. If you can bear with another batch of them frying in the background, just take a listen to this. All around, everything just absolutely amazing. I hate to brag on myself like that, but anyway, that's why y'all are here. Thanks for watching.